driving the Mazda CX-9, there are different trim levels. This one's the Signature Edition, which is the top boat. Really nice, really fine interior, some pretty cool features on the outside. We'll describe those to you as we go along here. Right from the point where you start the car, safety is a priority. You'll notice the little display. You have on the right hand side a 360 surround view of the car to make sure there are no obstacles. On the left side of the display, the rear view camera. These days, a lot of what keeps you safe is the stuff that you don't see. Mazda's safety suite is called iActive Sense, and it's now standard on every one of the trim levels of this model, starting in 2020. The CX-9 has a 6-speed automatic transmission. It scoots, and I'll show you that in a second. But also note that you can shift it yourself if you want. I'm not sure you'll ever use that, but it's kind of a fun feature. You also have a sport mode, and you tip into sport mode by pushing that little lever. Now let's take off from a stop. This car is plenty quick around town, and it feels pretty sporty. It's got a 2.5-liter turbocharged engine, which seems to be just about enough when you're taking off from a stoplight and so on. On the freeway, it's super comfortable and quiet. You could cruise all day like this. The middle ground isn't so good. So for example, when you're trying to beat another car up the freeway ramp, you kind of run out of power about 2/3 of the way. That's probably something you want to be a little bit careful of. So I'm cruising along at 62 miles an hour, and I know that not because I look right in front of me at the gauge, but because there's a heads-up display out front. I also see 2 little white lines, and they explain to me where my lane is. They show me a car in the lane most of the time. And if I start to stray a little bit to the right or to the left, one of the lane markers becomes orange, and I feel a little tug in my steering wheel. I've got it set on low because I figure that as a minimum standard, if you can't keep in your lane, you probably shouldn't be driving a car to begin with. This car is also quite nice and luxurious outside. You'll notice chrome accents here, chrome roof rails, really nice wheels, 20-inch. The only thing is, if you buy the car, you're going to need to buy one other thing. One of these. Because otherwise, there's no way you're going to get up here to wash it. One thing about this car is that despite the relative enormity of it on the outside, it's not all that big inside, which is a complaint that you'll note in some reviews. Just to give you a sense of perspective, I put a couple of grocery bags in here. You can see that with all 3 rows of seats up, this is about all the space that you have back here in the cargo area. So let's say you decide you need to haul something bigger, maybe a TV home. If you want more space than what's available with the 3 rows up, you put the 3rd row down. Grab the little handle here, give it a push. Notice the headrest folds out of the way. Grab the handle here and push. Nice big flat cargo area. The middle seats in the CX-9 are just as nice as the ones in the front. They're called captain's chairs, and if you're the captain of something, if it were up to me, I'd be the captain of an NHL hockey team. You can feel very in charge back here. You've got climate control that you can set just for you. You've got seat heaters with their own individual controls, cup holders, and if your fans are outside clamoring for autographs and you just want a little peace and quiet, there's a handy pull-up sunshade that you can use. So if I had to put a capper on this CX-9 experience, I would say I really like the car. It's great to sit in, it's comfortable, it's powerful enough around town. There's a Bose audio system. The controller that Mazda uses is innovative but easy to master. I like everything about this car except its size. It's just too big. It barely fits in my driveway. I find it quite difficult to park. For me, this is a little too much car. Maybe you've got people to haul around or things to haul around, and it might be right for you.